Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Sunday and I am Lasty, and Sunday of course is random pick day. I hope you guys do enjoy the episode that I've got for you on this fine relaxing day. So, if you could start things off by hitting that thumbs up button, that would be amazing. I thought I'd keep my budget relatively cheap. You know, we've got a bit of a market crash on our hands. Things are like ebbing and flowing, going up and down all the time. Nobody's too sure about stuff, so I set a maximum of 15k budget for my players. The first player I get here is Di Maria, someone that has definitely come down a lot in price over the past few weeks. I feel like as an 85 rated player around the 9 to 10k mark, we're pretty safe with him if a market crash is in place, just because of course SBC players, typically if you're an 85 you are around 9k as one of the cheapest ones on the game. Same for Insigne for our second random pick player today. These are two guys that I don't think I've even used on the game so far, so really excited to get stuck in and see what we can do with them. And then our third and final player is going to be on page number 16, I think it was. Yes, Di Maria was the highest rated player, but we've already got him, so we go for the next best, which of course is Koscielny from Arsenal. So 3 different players from 3 different leagues in 3 different positions. That's exactly what we're after in the random pick today. So hopefully we can make a nice team, and these will be the 3 most expensive players in the squad. The rest of the team around them is hopefully going to be pretty cheap. Well, I know it is because I'm about to build it and show you. I've gone for one of my favourite formations on the game. I'd say like my second most favourite. 4-1-2-1-2 second variant is still the best in my opinion. But 4-3-2-1 today, and this is where I'm going to be playing everyone. Right centre back for Koscielny, with a shadow chem style on him, and then of course right forward for Di Maria, left forward for Insigne. They're both going to get very much involved in today's squad, and both of them are rocking the sniper chemistry style. So the team around them looks a little bit like this. I've tried to keep it pretty cheap. I think if you can average and say the 3 random pick players are like 10k each, then the rest of the team is probably under 20k, bringing this squad to under 50,000 coins, which is a nice price at this point in the game. Loads of you should have at least that many coins by now. We've got Butland in goal, Sidibe at right back, as well as Luke Shaw at left back. Rojo, I'm not sure how you say his name, but the Man United Argentine centre-back at left centre-back, and then Koscielny as our RCB. He's 84 rated with 75 pace, 85 defending. Now, he doesn't actually cost 20k, that's what I paid for him ages ago, so I should have sold him before the market crash happened, but of course he is now a lot cheaper than that. Moving on into the midfield, we have got Bonaventura and Ben Arfa. Bonaventura is kind of like he's got a little bit of flair about him, like his dribbling's pretty good, but up and down the pitch he'll work really hard. Ben Arfa definitely a flair player, and then Parolo is our box-to-box real hard work, a more defensive minded player. I've gone for Alejandro Gomez up front. Now, you could of course go for someone like Mario Balotelli if you wanted to have like that target man, and that might be a good idea. But Insigne's our second random pick player today. He's 85 rated with 90 pace and 89 dribbling. Only 5'4", so yeah, that doesn't add to the height up front. And then we have Di Maria, who is 5'11", so relatively tall there. 5-star skill moves on the Argentine, but only a 2-star weak foot. And he is left-footed on that right-hand side, as we know. A very left-footed player. I'm going to have to cut inside if I'm going to do anything with him today. And then with Alejandro Gomez up front, of course, he's very short as well, which is why I might suggest that, yeah, you go for someone like Balotelli if you want. That will link both the Liga and the Italians together. However, I went for the Argentine from the Calcio A to just to get someone else that I thought was very good in the game. I have used Balotelli in this series before, and he was a great player. And then Alejandro Gomez he's just really tricky, and he's like a mini Dybala, so I figured we'd put him into the team. He obviously costs a lot less now than he did at the start of the game as well, so sort of fits in with the whole like market crash kind of theme, whereas Balotelli is someone that's pretty much been like the discard rate for since the first couple of weeks of the game, when people started getting better players and whatnot, because of his rating, I guess, more than anything. So with this particular squad, I scored a whole bunch of goals and was pretty productive, I would say. Like, it's definitely not the best team I've used. You know, this is under 50,000 coins, so I'm not expecting the world. I'm not expecting to beat the super mega teams that I come up against. I did beat some guy with like Bale and Modric and some really, really solid players. A really like super team with regular goals, not with icons or anything crazy, but he did have lots of good players, and I was able to beat him 3-2 with some clinical finishing on my part. But just generally, like, that strike force, it's tough to defend against the likes of Insigne and Alejandro Gomez, if that's the play style you're going with. You know, obviously you got to know that you can't whip that ball up in the air. They're just not going to really win headers, unless they're completely uncontested, of course. But they're not going to win aerial battles. You know, they're both absolutely tiny, but their game is to try and be like a little Lionel Messi in game. You know, they've got pace, they've got dribbling, they can shoot, which is great. They've both got 4-star skill moves, and they can weave in and out of defenders and change direction super quick because of that low center of gravity. If you can get used to them and then like take that ball into their first touch without holding the sprint button, and then quickly accelerate away, but then maybe take your hand off the sprint button to change direction, you will see just how crazy it is to have players like this on the game. Like, some of them super agile, tiny little guys, they are so difficult to defend against. Especially with the slower gameplay now, defenders feel even more stuck in mud, so players like this are really going to reign supreme. And then, well, Di Maria. Di Maria was a bit of an odd one. I actually scored a couple of alright goals with him, and he was fun. He's got the 5-star skills, of course. I mainly used the 4-star skills with him, though, just to try and almost like McGeady spin inside, or use that new Giovinco turn and stuff like that, just to change his angle, because of course he's running in straight on goal, but I need him to be on the side where he can shoot with the left foot, because having that 2-star weak foot is a major negative for a player like that, because it's going to hinder him so much. Everyone knows that Di Maria is a very left-footed player, and if that's the case, they're going to try and keep pushing him out wide. And then you've got a Cruyff turn back. They know you're going to do that, so it's very easy to read a player like that. Whereas someone like Alejandro Gomez, who I'm pretty sure is 4-4, don't quote me on that, he could be 4-star, 3-star, I'm not too sure. But someone where, one, people don't necessarily know that he's predominantly right-footed, and if he has got the 4-star weak foot, well, you can quite comfortably shoot on that one as well. Makes a player like that super difficult to read, and you definitely get more success, I would say. I had more success down the left-hand side with Insigne, and he actually gets into really great positions and stuff as well, than I did with Di Maria, just because those defenders were on me and covering that turn inside, which is a massive issue. But you know what, he still managed to get a couple of goals. The odd 5-star skill move like that one to then whip it in. You know, I said Insigne's never going to win a header, but he wasn't really contested in that one, and he was able to actually nod that into the top corner. Actually quite a nice header, to be fair. You're not often going to see headed goals with Lorenzo Insigne, that's for sure, but I have provided you with one today. One of the rarities on FIFA 18. But it's just a quick little pass in between the two short guys, and the quick 1-2 movement and stuff. People can't deal with it. You can see little rage quit happening and stuff like that. It was fun to use them, that is for sure. So, that was the clips for the team. Let's go through the squad and I'll let you know how everyone performed. Butland in goal isn't as good as he was last year. I'd say the OP Prem keeper is Begovic this year. Rojo was solid, actually. Really liked him. I think he's a great option for a Prem centre-back, who I don't think costs too much either. I love Sidibe. He's done great for me so far on FUT 18. And then this is one of the first times I've managed to use Luke Shaw. I was a massive fan of him last year. Not so much this year, which is a little bit of a shame. We're going to go 4.5-star value for money and an 8.5 out of 10 for Koscielny. He definitely is one of the better Premier League centre-backs. He's one of the higher rated ones as well. And that pace is great. You know, the work rates are good. He can be lacking in height a little bit sometimes and strength and whatnot. But overall, really solid centre-back. Partnering with a mountain who is really strong and not necessarily as quick, and you'll do just fine. Can't really fault the players in my midfield as well. They were moderate. They were average, because that's the, you know, look at them in game. They're not super high rated or anything like that. Not super expensive, super elite players, but they all did their job very well. And then, of course, pretty big props to Alejandro Gomez for scoring some goals and generally being a very tricky striker up front. So Di Maria is going to get a 4.5-star value for money. I think you're definitely getting good money's worth, under 10,000 coins for this 85 rated player. And then an 8 out of 10. You can take off sort of like half a star or 1 star for the weak foot itself. You know, he can be fantastic, but if people know about that weak foot situation, it is going to be a problem for you. And then Insigne. Insigne was the best player in the team. I actually really liked him. He got 5 goals and an assist in the games that we played. So 6 contributions in 4 games is pretty solid for him. 4.5-star value for money. Again, you know, under 10,000 coins for an 85 rated. I'm happy with that. And then the same overall rating as Koscielny. I thought he was great. Obviously, the height lets him down somewhat, but if you play to his strengths, then of course that can almost be like a positive. The fact that the low centre of gravity and whatnot comes into effect. So there you go, guys. That is the random pick today. Trying to bring you a much more cheap episode because over the past 3 or 4 weeks, I've actually been stepping the budget up using some special players, some overall expensive gold players and stuff like that. So it's nice to, whilst the market is in turbulent times, to be able to bring you something which definitely isn't going to break the bank, and you might have some fun with that front three. Let me know if you do decide to use it down below in the comments section, or maybe tweet me a pic or something of a score line that you use with this particular team. That would be interesting. Smash a thumbs up on the video if you have enjoyed. Most importantly, enjoy your Sunday, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.